Hello students, welcome to our channel. In this video, I will be discussing about electric field, which is one of the most important and basic thing about the electrostatics. So, in this video, first I'll introduce the electric field, why we'll measure the electric field, what is the significance. After that, the electric field for a point charges and for different purposes, what is the purpose of measuring electric field, and after that I will discuss about some important topics about electric fields which are very important for different type of exams. So before we start, I hope you have already learned about the electric force, electric charges. If you don't learn, then please go to the earlier videos which already we have uploaded. Please review once and after that you watch this video. So if we start with electric field, as a science student you first should have question why and what. So first, if you ask what, the answer is electric field. Second, if you ask why, then we'll have to answer different way. So if you ask why and what is electric field and why we'll measure the electric field. So first we'll discuss why we'll measure the electric field for charges. So for that purpose, let us have a simple example. Please listen carefully the story. Suppose you are going to a grocery shop and you want some rice. So you will not ask, give me this number of rice. Suppose 1000 number of rice. No. You will ask either 1 kg, 2 kg, 1.5 kgs, like this. So the basic idea is you never know in the reality where the charges are and what are the exact number of charges. So to measure those charges, relatively easier method is to calculate the force for these charges. Okay, either positive charges or negative charges. So as you already know how to calculate force for a point charges, similarly we can calculate the electric field intensity. Hope you are understanding why we are measuring electric field. That is to measure easily the effect of charge. Okay, so let us define the electric field. In different books, some books are using electric field and some books are using electric field intensity. So these both are same, don't be confused with. So first of all, let me explain and define the electric field. Now let us consider one point charge. So the definition of point charge you already know. So for this, what is the force at a particular distance you already know. Suppose at a distance r, you know the force at that point. Okay. Now the electric field is defined as the force per unit charge. Okay. The force per unit charge is called electric field. This charge should be the test charge, okay, or the point charge. This charge should be positive. To better understand this definition, let us take the same example of rice. Suppose in your bag you have 1 kg of rice. Now mathematically, if you are asked what is the weight of one rice, okay, what is the weight of one rice. So from here you can calculate how many rices are there and what is the weight. That means the weight per unit rice is your some weight you will get. Here similarly the electric field per unit charge, electric field force per unit charge is electric field intensity. Now the next topic I will discuss about the electric field intensity due to point charges. What is the mathematical expression for that? So the electric field intensity due to point charges. So as you already know the Coulomb's law, that is the force due to the electric charges. You have already know the mathematical formulation. So if you have a charge Q, okay, at a distance R from where you are measuring the electric force, okay. Now if there is no charges, we have to assume one test charge, okay, just for making the calculation easier to understand. We are assuming a test charge. Now you already know the force due to charges. The force due to charges is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught divided by R square. That is, the force is directly proportional to the multiple of the two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance, okay. Where this epsilon naught is called the permittivity of the free space. However, this permittivity will be changed for different medium. So here for simplicity we are assuming the charge is in the free space. Now as from the definition of electric field is given by force per unit charge. Therefore it is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. You have to remember that this electric field is a vector quantity. As the force is a vector quantity, it has a direction. So if you are asked what is the direction of this electric field, so the direction of the electric field is along this line from where you are measuring and where the charge is. If the charge is positive, then the direction will be this way, okay. If the charge is negative, then the direction will be this way, okay. So always remember this convention. So the final format of this electric field for a point charge is this one, and which is a vector quantity, and this will act along point A to point B if it is a positive charge, and if it is a negative charge, the direction will be from B to A. These basic concepts you have to clear. Today's next topic is superposition principle for electric field intensity measurement, okay. So this is based on the simple concept that suppose you have different amount of rice, 1 kg in one packet, 2 kg of different packet, and 3 kg in another packet, 5 kg in another packet. So what is the net amount? If you are asked, simple sum is the net amount. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals to 11 kgs. Okay. Similarly, the electric field, the superposition principle also same as this concept. Suppose you have different charges Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 in the space. Okay, so for each charges you will have a electric field. Suppose E1 here, for this it is E2 here, for this E3, and for this E4. So the superposition principle says when there are several point charges, then net electric field intensity at any point can be calculated by finding vector sum of electric field intensity due to all charges. That is, if these are the electric field, okay, so the net electric field will be vector sum of all the electric fields for different charges. So we can write E equals to E1 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4. If you have more charges, then it will be going on similarly. So you are getting the resultant electric field or net electric field as a vector sum of all the electric field due to different charges. Here you have to remember one very important point, that electric field intensity at a point due to a charge is not affected by the presence of other charges, and what we get, it is the resultant one. That is, for this charge, what is we are getting the electric field here E1. It is not affected by these charges. Okay, so that is the main part of this superposition principle. So as you have already told, for these charges E1 is not affected. Okay, so what we are getting, E is overall of all this electric field due to all these charges individually. Okay, that's why we are just making the sum. That is the superposition principle. To understand more clearly, one example I can give. Suppose in the atmosphere you are at the ground and some clouds are there overhead. Okay, so in the clouds charges are there, maybe positive or negative charges. Okay, so one person can measure these charges electric field here with an instrument which is called electric field mill. So when one can measure this electric field mill, it will be the superposition of all the charges in the cloud. Okay, so here we are getting the electric field due to all the charges around this position. Okay, so from this example you can remember the fact very clearly. Today's next point is the behavior of metal in external electric field. Now, up to now we have learned about the measurement of electric field intensity due to charges. Now this is somewhat reverse process, that what is the effect of external electric field on a metal. That is somewhat the opposite case. Okay, in the metal surface or inside the metal some free electrons are there. Okay, so suppose you have a metal like this. Let us consider a cylinder or a sphere. So this is the surface and this is the inside of the metal. Okay, now this metal has some free electrons. Free electrons means, you already know, those electrons with little bit of force, these electrons can move out and this can run through the surface or inside the metal. Now, if we give an external electric field to this body, how we can give? So, there is a process to give an external electric field. Suppose you are bringing some positive charge with some other material. Suppose you are bringing some positive charge with this material. As the electrons are there inside the metal, these electrons are negatively charged. Okay? Negatively charged electrons are there. So this negatively charged electron will attract the positive charges. Okay? Now what happens inside the metal? Inside the metal, one portion of the metal becomes positively charged and another portion becomes negatively charged. Okay? So that the resultant electric field between this positive and negative becomes zero. But what happens in the surface of the metal? In the surface of the metal, some electrons are still there. Therefore, we can say that the external electric field, when we apply on a metallic surface, after some time, the metal inside, it becomes neutralized with negative and positive charges. But at the surface, some electrons are still there. That's why it is very important to remember that inside the metal, no charges are present when external electric field is applied. Okay, so you remember that inside the metal, in electrostatic condition, when external electric field is applied, inside the metal is zero. The electric field is zero. The net charge is zero. Okay, on the surface there is a charge, but inside the metal there is no charges. That means the net charges is zero. So for today we are done here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do comment if you have any doubt regarding the topic. We are trying to give more detail about one by one topic from the syllabus. And of course, please do share to the needy students in this condition of the coronavirus. Thank you.